What's up, everyone? It is Jason Jani, and welcome back to my channel. Now, today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of DJs go through at different points in their career, and that is if you are someone that DJs as a side hustle, a part-time thing, every once in a while, and you're looking to dive into this universe of work full-time, as in this is the only thing that you do to support yourself, your family, and your life, this video was really made for you. Today I'm sitting with one of my people here at the SCE Event Group. He goes by Chris Obando, also DJ O, and this is a topic that really hits home to him because he just left a full-time civil engineering job after 18 years to dive into the event industry full-time as an event host for the SCE Event Group. And I want to talk to Chris, ask some questions, because I know there's people watching this that struggle with this very topic. When do you know it's time to move on and maybe dive all the way in? How do you prepare, and how and what does it look like for someone? There's a lot of things that I know firsthand when I went from network engineering into the event business back in 2009. I feel like my world was shifted and it really flipped upside down, and that change was incredibly uncomfortable for someone like me, even at that time. Looking back now, plus 13 years, I am so grateful that I took that leap of faith and I really invested not just my energy but my time into the world that surrounds me today. So I want to stop right there. I want to introduce you to Chris O from the SCE Event Group and just introduce you to him. And Chris, say what's up to the world of Jason Jen on YouTube and just let them know who you are and what you're all about.
What's going on, guys? My name is Chris Obando. I'm DJ O, as Jason already said. I've been DJing for 13 years, but actually I've been in the music business pretty much since I was 9 years old. Classically trained saxophonist, did concert band, jazz band, marching band all throughout grammar school, high school, and even in college. But yeah, as I said, I'm a full-fledged member of SCE. I couldn't be happier, and here we are.
So this is a fairly new world for you in terms of event business because you really come from the nightlife world. So how long have you been doing private events for SCE and just in general?
In general, I mean, I've dabbled into it early on in my career. But really, when I became a part of this amazing family, that's when it really just went full tilt. I came here with a lot of experience in the club world. Like you said, I was mostly like 80-90% club and 10% or so private event. So I knew I had to get a lot of experience from yourself and the rest of the crew. And that's something I was really thirsty to get into right away.
How did you prepare to make that jump? What did you do? What were the processes? How did you just get your mind in the right place? Because that change, I know for me firsthand, was so scary when I did it.
And it was scary for me a little bit because obviously my main income was engineering. DJing was known as a little side hustle, but I knew as the years went on and I got more experience, and then when I came into the SCE world, I knew that that was a possibility in my future to be a private event DJ full time. And what I did was I just gained experience from yourself and the rest of the squad. I watch you guys. I watch you do introductions and how you communicate not only with your clients but also with the venues and have that familiarity with everyone. And I took all of it and I made it my own. And I knew as the years progressed, I did more events. I noticed there was just an overwhelming amount of reviews that came my way from my clients in the past that, I'm making a difference. This is amazing. As the years progressed and the dream was just coming to fruition little by little, I knew to myself, if I don't make this move, as scary as it is, if I don't make this move now, I'm going to regret it for sure. And honestly, working those two jobs, especially the last couple of years, I was working 80 to 90 hour weeks at times with engineering and having 2 or 3 weddings on a weekend, to the point where I was using vacation days just to do weddings on a Thursday or on a Friday. And I was happy doing it, but after a while, it started eating away at me a little bit. And I knew for a good work-life balance, something had to change. Being afraid, it's normal, but at the same time, I knew I had to have the courage to just have faith in myself, bet on myself with the support of the SCE family to make this change in my life.
Now, a decision like this doesn't happen overnight, like you had said, and everyone has a different way of doing things, but How much time came in between you saying, hey, I want to do this, and it actually becoming a reality for you in terms of, hey, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, and then fast forward to giving your 2-week resignation letter into whoever you're working for at your other place of employment?
Honestly, the last couple of years, when I first joined SCE, like I said, I knew I had a lot of time to learn and gain that experience, because I'm not one of those people that just dives into something, oh, let's just screw it, I'll just deal with the consequences later. I like to plan, and I want to build that strategy. So right when the pandemic happened, I knew that, I was just starting to come into my own a little bit at SCE, but unfortunately I couldn't do all the events that we all couldn't do during the pandemic. But toward the end of 2020, I just noticed that there was a shift in my thinking, that because I did a lot of virtual shows like we all did, and learned even more, but starting to forecast how my 2021 was looking, and especially 2022, how that was looking, I knew that it was possible. It wasn't just like a dream, like, oh, hopefully this goes, hopefully that goes. It actually was happening with the amount of events that all these wonderful couples were placing their faith in myself and the company to be there on their special day. So I knew right then and there, probably like around the beginning of 2022, this was the move.
So still from you making that kind of mindset shift in the beginning of 22 and then moving over to the end of 22 when you actually gave your resignation, there was still almost a year's worth of time events for you to either make sure that you're making the right decision, to maybe save money. What did you do maybe from a financial perspective, and not getting into your finances, but what did you do from a financial perspective to almost prepare for the unknown in front of you? And what did you do from a business perspective? What did you do from a bookings perspective? If you don't mind maybe elaborating a little bit on that, I think that could be incredibly helpful for people that could be right now today sitting on the fence, balancing two unique worlds at the same time, trying to say, do I do this? Should I do this? And I don't know what's going to happen if I do. So what did it look like for you?
Quite honestly, especially in that last year, well, really the last two years, but specifically all of 2022, I made sure all my financials were in order. I didn't want to have any outstanding debt. I wanted to have a nice clean slate going into this decision of mine toward the end of 22 and the beginning of 2023. It's all about just, making sure that you don't overextend yourself. Sometimes you have to make a little sacrifice here and there, but if you make some sacrifices, you're going to achieve that ultimate goal. But like I said from the very beginning, if you don't bet on yourself and you don't trust yourself, there's no way that you can make this huge change in your life. And that goes without saying, with an amazing support system like I have at home with my lady, my friends, my family. Without them, I couldn't make this adjustment.
Did anyone doubt that this may have been the best decision for your life, for your world, for your future? Or was there anyone, because I can tell you firsthand, when I went to go start this journey myself, going back a number of years, I encountered people and obstacles every step of the way. Everyone was telling me, I don't think this is a viable future. I think you're going to regret this. This may be a mistake. How are you going to survive? How are you going to feed your family? And if I go back 13 plus years ago, there wasn't a lot of full-time DJs at that time. And this was really a side hustle for so many. And I'm grateful to say that not only has it worked for me, but our entire company is laced with people that do this professionally full time. Yeah. And I think the world is a little different. So I ask you the same question because I don't know. I believe having a support structure and having the right people around you that are your biggest cheerleaders and people that want to push you forward and support your decisions in the hopes of being happy and fulfilled and all that stuff are super important. But did you deal with anyone saying, hey, are you really sure you're going to do this? Outside of maybe Jason telling you, we have to make sure all your stuff is in order before we do it. Because I think taking a calculated risk is very different than just jumping right into the swimming pool with, your clothes on kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, honestly, at the very beginning, I wouldn't say, people close to my circle, but those kind of like in the industry, when I first started, like, really? You want to start to be a DJ now? Like, what are you, crazy? Like, no, this is a young man's game. This is this and that. I'm like, well, if I listened to that, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. Okay. But as the years progressed and, obviously, like you said, I have my support system I would not be here without them. And they're not just people that say yes for everything, because that's not a true support system. They're real, and they're real with me, and they tell me yes or no when it comes to any major life decision. So all the people They know how much of a passionate person I am, not only in life, but also in what I do, when I do this. They were very supportive. I even, when I left my engineering job, I left them at the end of the year. Leaving at the end of the year wasn't going to, actually be bad for them, because that's when they're heading into their slow part of the year. I wanted to finish off a project. It was a big part of my decision of when to leave and how to leave. But bottom line, without my support system, my inner circle, I wouldn't be here. And they were just so supportive of everything.
My next question for you would be, what advice would you give anyone that's maybe considering or contemplating making the jump into doing this full time? What piece of advice would you give to them, knowing everything that you do that has led you up to this point in time? Here we are a few months after you've made the jump into this world full time.
Yeah.
What piece of advice, what guidance, what coaching, what mentoring would you ever give to someone that was possibly considering doing the same thing that you just did?
2 words: be yourself. Be true to yourself, I should say. And always have that open mind to want to learn. I haven't stopped learning. I'm never going to stop learning from yourself, the squad, anyone in this industry, because if you aren't willing to actually do that, you're not going to go anywhere. It's imperative that your mind becomes a sponge. You accept, you learn from your mistakes. You make a mistake, screw it, just make a mistake, but at least you know better for the next time. Find your inner passion. If you don't have that passion, that fire in your heart over what you're doing to make money for a living, obviously it's scary. It's okay. It's a natural human emotion to have, to be scared. But to have that faith to move forward, it's everything.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your insight, and I hope that the community watching this video here on the channel can relate to or use this for some juice in the decision-making process for your own path in this business. Now, my name is Jason Jani. That was DJO, Chris Obando. We both fly the SCE Event Group flag, and I hope that you found value in this real deal, incredibly candid conversation with someone who's just left their full-time path after 18 years to come and rock at the company SCE Event Group as a DJ full-time to support their life, their family, their people, and everything. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything you'd like to add to the conversation, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to jump down below, throw it in the comments field underneath this video. I'll do my best. I'll have look at the comments and the things added there. He'll jump into the conversation as well. And I just appreciate your support on this video. If you have questions, throw it in the comments down below. Be on the lookout for more videos just like this coming to this channel in the days, weeks, and months ahead. And thanks for watching.